Welcome back to Crystal Clear! I'm Ostrich Vox, and I want to briefly touch on a very important detail from the most recent episode of Steven vs. Future, Why So Blue? Something that I believe serves as unfortunate subtle confirmation in regards to a certain concept a lot of fans were looking out for the last few years. Such a thing being a fusion between Peridot and Lapis. Real quick spoiler warning, if you have not seen Why So Blue, please go check it out, then come back. With all that said, let's dive in. Why So Blue featured the beautiful song by Lapis Lazuli, Shining Through, which serves as a reflection of her growth and character arc throughout the series in an attempt to appease the other Lapis Lazulis, Mean Lapis and Nice Lapis, or as we call them, Curly and Freckle. The lyric in question that caught my attention reads that Mirror was a prison and fusion was the same. These few words say everything. It's more than just Lapis reflecting on her imprisonment, but her general outlook on her past, that her experience as Malachite completely soured fusion for her. All these years later, she's still not a fan. And while you could argue she's only referring to Malachite, why wouldn't she just say that? The fact of the matter is, as put on paper by these lyrics, Lapis at this current point in time is not willing to fuse with anybody. Switching gears over to Peridot, however, not only have we yet to see her fuse in the series, but I think it's important to remember that she may never want to fuse in the first place. You guys may remember a year or two back, I presented a theory on why Peridot would never fuse. And although fusion isn't exclusively equated to sex, in fact, I strongly disagree with that analogy, as fusions in general are just representative of a relationship, I still think Peridot could serve as representation for those who identify as asexual, those that sport little to no sexual attraction, people who can still be in loving relationships, still sport romantic feelings, but for lack of better words, they typically ain't trying to take a trip to Pound Town. This is further backed up by the book, Steven Universe, Fusion for Beginners and Experts, which goes through all the reasons to fuse, using different characters and fusions for different examples. However, for Peridot, her pages in particular read, and if you don't want to fuse, that's cool too. Now, a lot of Steven Universe books may be considered outdated for their designs, but in terms of their message, they should be able to stand the test of time. And to implement this for Peridot here, I believe it's something that may stay true until the very end. Now, I do believe it's important to point out that in the beginning of the year, Rebecca Sugar indulged in a little Q&A for an international Cartoon Network channel. One of the questions proposing, will Peridot and Lapis ever fuse? In which Sugar stated the following.
Lapis and Peridot have a lot of personal growth to do before they're ready for something like that, especially after what Lapis has been through. Give them some time, you guys.
Now, with capping that off with give them time, it does leave that little nugget of hope, which may just be common courtesy. You don't want to shoot down your fans right then and there. After all, this is the same interview where she didn't want to confirm or deny if Steven was Sans, but I'm assuming in the Steven Universe canon, Steven will never actually be Sans, you know, just a little hunch. So that could have just been a method of letting everyone down easily. However, Sugar may not be certain of what the future holds. So between Lapis's not-so-pleasant experience as a toxic fusion and Peridot's lack of desire for fusing, not only may their fusion ship never sail, but other fusions involving them in general may never come to fruition in canon. That's not to say there's harm in thinking, what if, or still even hoping for it. If you still want them to fuse, that's a-okay. It's okay to root for them to get to a place where they would want to fuse again. But in terms of it happening in future, well, I'm not so optimistic at this point in time. But as always, these are just my thoughts, and I want to hear yours. What do you think? Could Peridot and Lapis ever fuse? Do you even want them to at this point? Would you choose one or the other? Like, yeah, Lapis can fuse with these other gems, but Peridot, Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts at RoundtableVids. And for more of my own thoughts, you can find me at Ostrich Vox. We're also on Instagram. Special thanks to Art with Coda for creating an awesome thumbnail. For more of his wonderful art, you can find him on Tumblr and Instagram at Art with Coda, and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Link down below in the description. Help the Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of this channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw a like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. Ostrich Vox, signing out.